Welcome to the first episode of the Collect a Hobby podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the website itself, and also the second topic we'll be talking about is what we actually like to collect. So stay tuned.
You collect video games, and you collect trading card games. Welcome to your new home, and welcome to one of the most unique podcasts ever. This is the Collect a Hobby podcast. We've been collecting for years, and we're up to date on all the latest trends in the hobby. Our website, collectahobby.com, is a social network for collectors, made by collectors, for collectors. Welcome to your new family. This is the Collect a Hobby podcast. And now, your expert hosts, Hector and Rich.
Let's get this party started.
What?
Sounds fun. Wear your helmets.
The first thing we're going to talk about is the website, collectahobby.com. Let me first summarize what Collect a Hobby is. Collect a Hobby is a social network for collectors of video games and trading card games. Before we even get started into what's on the website, Rich, how do you define what Collect a Hobby is?
Collect a Hobby to me is a website where collectors can go and interact with other collectors that have similar interests. There's other platforms out there that are very disjointed, and maybe you can post a picture here or you can talk here, but nothing's really central. Collect a Hobby to me is a nice centralized point where everybody can go and they can connect with each other, and your pictures will be there, your comments, your thoughts, your friends. It's just a really nice centralized place for collectors.
I guess this whole idea for websites started like that, right? Because I remember a while ago you were talking about how you did not like the fact that whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, and other social networks where you may post something about the hobby and no one can find it. Maybe you might get a couple likes for that second or so and then it disappears. And the reason why is there's so many different groups out there. There's so many different topics, and collecting in general, it's never on the top of the charts. No one ever gets a chance to see anything about what you post. And sometimes when you collect something, the best thing about collecting is showing off what you have. And I remember the day that you mentioned that you wanted to do something for a website and you wanted to pretty much show a collection. However, we have to make this a social network. We have to make it where people can actually talk to each other, not just post things about what they have, but actually a way for people to talk to each other, communicate with each other, and actually have fun. A small community where people would just enjoy being a collector. It doesn't matter if you're a video game collector, it doesn't matter if you're a trading card game collector, but for right now, that's what we're limiting the site to. So I'm actually really excited about this. The way it started out was supposed to be small, and it actually turned into a way bigger project than I thought it was going to be. I did a lot of different work on this website, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But I think it's well worth it, and I think that you guys will enjoy it out there, the people who are listening to this, and hopefully if you do enjoy it, you actually let other people know as well. Do you want to go over details of anything in particular to website, Rich?
We have a bunch of really good sections that I think a lot of people will enjoy. One of the biggest ones we have is called our show and tell. Going back to what you said, Hector, about how when we were talking and how we wanted to know what other people had and we wanted to show it off. And yeah, you can go to the other platforms and see that. But I remember I was on another platform and I was looking at posts and I refreshed the page and I saw something that I wanted to see and it was gone. I went into the page, I couldn't find it. I searched for 10 minutes and I'm like, I can't find it. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it. What I really like about our show and tell is that you can post things that you have and people can go on your page and look at what you've posted and they can go and scan it. So nothing's ever really lost. You can always find it. That's what I really like about show and tell. It's like when you're kids and you bring something into show and tell and you show them, I got this thing, it's there and people can look at it. And if you make a new friend, they can go to your collection and they can say, oh, you've got Super Mario 64, you've got first edition Charizard, you got this, you got all this stuff. That's what I want, and that's what I think we want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that even the name show and tell plays on the words from back in a day, right? Like I feel like it brings on nostalgic memories for me. And I think for a lot of people that usually collect, that's the time period where people remember where they were actually able to show something that they had. It might not been the most expensive thing. It's just something that meant something to you. And you're able to show it off to everyone else because our website, it's about collectors showing things to other collectors, talking to other collectors, and just having fun. And the cool thing about show and tell is there's other people that do things like Facebook wall, like they have Instagram and Twitter posts, but it's a combination of all of them, right? So if you post something in the group section, which we'll talk over in a second, it will show up there and show and tell as well. Let's say it's something that you don't even collect. Maybe you're a person only collects Pokemon and you're not used to collecting things from Yu-Gi-Oh, things from, let's say, Magic and the Gathering, and you don't collect those cards, but yet you may see posts from people that actually do collect it. It may spark an interest in you. Maybe you might learn something about that game that you might actually like, and you may actually start to collect it yourself. And I think that's something that's important in that show and tell area. It actually gives someone an opportunity to see what other people are doing, what they're collecting, and maybe they might go collect it themselves as well.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I saw somebody post a card and I'm like, wow, I need that card. And then I went and bought it just because someone posted it. And with the show and tell, you can look at what all your friends are collecting, what other people are collecting, and maybe there was a variant or a game you didn't know came out, and then you can see them post it and then you can go pick it up.
So some of the groups that are there right now is Pokemon TCG. We have the video games group. We have the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG, Magic the Gathering. We also have two other groups for different tiers. That's something else I want to explain later. So for right now, we'll focus on those four groups. There's also forums that are tied to each group. And that's something that I don't see enough on other sections. So if you go to places like Reddit and you go to a forum, these forums break away so far away from each other that you can't find the topic or the group. It's really hard to find what you're looking for. And I think the way this website actually breaks it down, it's actually easier to find forums that you understand for the actual group that you're a part of. In the groups and forums section, the cool thing about this is if you don't even collect, let's say, Pokemon at all, and you just join a Pokemon group and you go ahead and you look at other people's posts, you'll see what people are collecting. You'll understand how to start out. Maybe you're someone that's new and you don't even understand where to start. What should be the first thing I should collect? And that's where the group comes in, because you go to the group and you can either post a forum question, or you could actually just go into the group chat and just message and just say, hey guys, I'm new to collecting Pokemon. What's good for me to collect right now for my price range? And just start up a conversation. And that's the great thing about this, that it breaks down specific trading card games. And hopefully in the future, it'll break down even further for other trading card games as well.
The groups and the forums, I think, are going to be such a big part of the site because you can go into it and you can be with other people who have similar interests in hobbies. And you can go and say, hey, I want to start collecting Pokemon. Like you said, where do I start? Or, hey, I just got this card. Do you know if it's from this set? Or anything like that. With video games, same thing. Is this video game good? And you'll be in a group or a forum where other people have the similar interests. I definitely think that is a very good part of the site.
One of the other groups in the future will be for trading specifically. That's going to be a separate group, and that's going to be a specific way in order for you to allow to do that. But that's for another date and time that we'll discuss. The regular groups are not allowed to trade or talk about trading. You could do that on your own off the site, but you can't do that on the site, just because you want to keep everyone safe. And we don't want people just to come onto the website to just post about how much something is worth, or not how much something's worth, but how much they want to sell something for and who wants to buy it. That's not what the site is about. And we don't want that there. However, we will help people later on down the road. I don't want to go too far into that yet, but that's something I do want to let you know. It's actually a positive thing because it lets you focus on the hobby itself. Collecting is not just about the monetary value of something, right? Collecting is also about the nostalgic value. For something that may mean something to me that I collected may mean absolutely nothing to Rich. Not too many people will say, oh, I'm a Game Gear fan. I love the Game Gear. To me, when I grew up, it was all about the Game Gear. There's a lot of other people out there that say it's all about Game Boy. The cool thing about collecting is you collect things that mean something to you. Now, I know it's slightly changed nowadays, but that's what the site is about. It's about the good old times where you collected something because it meant something to you.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I met you, that's how we met was we were talking about collecting out in the parking lot of a previous employer. And I remember being so interested in, oh, what do you have? And you're like, oh, what do I have? And just that passion of collecting. And this was back, oh God, 8 years ago. So
Yeah,
it
it's been
was
a while now.
really, it's been a while. It's the collecting is we bond over that. And that's what we want from the site is we want people to bond and come together over the collecting. And yes, things are going to be worth money. Things are going to go up in value. They're going to go down. That's just natural for anything, pretty much any collectible. So we want to really focus right now on getting people who are passionate about the hobby of collecting and what they're collecting and showing it off. I think you would agree with that, right?
Oh, absolutely. And just so you know, like this site, we really want people to be involved in the site, to actually post a lot, ask people questions, post forums. The forums section is really going to be for anyone that's a member of the site. That's for you. Ask questions. We're going to need moderators eventually. We're going to need people that are going to help us moderate for different groups, different forums to make sure people aren't posting, things that aren't proper or they're not following our terms and conditions or our privacy policy. They're not following those stuff. We're going to need someone that's going to help us by you following the rules and actually discussing and just helping others on the site. Not only is it going to make the site grow because more people are going to want to be a part of the site, but it's also going to show us that, hey, you know what, this person really is trustworthy. We should make them moderator. And maybe you'll be a moderator for Pokemon. Maybe you'll be a moderator for Pokemon and video games or whatever the case may be. Point is, just be a good participant on the website. And I think you'll help us grow. And that's the biggest thing is that this website is a social network. So without you, we won't grow. And that's our goal is to bring people aboard and have them bring other people aboard. We'll grow together.
Perfectly said. At the end of the day, this is a community. And I see on a lot of other websites, there's a lot of gatekeeping. I know that people who are newer kind of get shunned or made fun of or mocked for asking stupid questions that seem obvious to other people. And we don't really want that. We want everyone to come in, whether you've just started or you've been doing it for your whole life. Collecting for 8+ years doesn't mean we don't want to see the hobby grow. I want to see all these hobbies grow. I love these hobbies. Hector does too. We want to see them grow. If you're new, if you've been around for a while, if you consider yourself a veteran, come in and we want to be open and understanding that not everybody has the same knowledge level, but they're willing to learn, they're willing to show off what they have, and people are going to ask questions. So I just think it's great.
The website has your basic sections you would expect in a social network. You do have a profile page, which is pretty cool because you could go ahead and adjust your profile. Make sure the profile picture is of you, of course. Make sure you have the right pictures, please, people, because we are going to be paying attention to that. The last time I checked, I don't think Donkey Kong is going to have a profile picture. So just in case, make sure it is something of you. You could actually follow people and you could add friends. We'll explain on another day more about how certain features work on the site because I think that's something we could go into more depth later. But just know that there's a way to follow someone and there's also a way to add someone as a friend. So they're two separate things. So you can follow someone and not be friends with them. Let's go over another section on the site. This section is going to be the vault. Now, the vault currently is a work in progress. I have some things envisioned for the vault. So right now, the vault's standard, it uses a TCG player. And right now we do have card prices listed on the site. So you could go on there, you can find all card prices for Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon. Those will be all current prices. Prices are updated once a week. You'll see the current prices of what your card may be valued. The cool thing about that site that's a little bit different on that page is you have an option to go ahead and say, okay, I have this card, so let me click to add that card to my collection. And when you click to add that card in your collection, what it does is if someone were to go into your profile page, they'll actually see a section that says collection. They'll be able to see what cards you have in your collection, which is really cool. That's cool on its own. But let's say you don't have the card in your collection, but you're interested in buying it. You could go to the vault itself and click buy now. And it'll bring you to TCG Player and you could go ahead and purchase the card. And once you do, come back to the site and go ahead and add it to your collection. Now, I know that's all it is at the moment. There's some plans to do video game as well. And hopefully the vault turns into something that's pretty convenient for people where you can actually get prices of all different groups that we have on the site. You should be able eventually in the future, hopefully, you'll be able to get the prices for anything that you have in the groups. All the groups that we have should have the exact pricing, the current prices right now. So you'll know exactly how much is going for, how to buy it, where to buy it, and then you could add it to your collection to show that you actually have that in your collection. So that's the goal. Hopefully we'll get that done, but that part of the website is a work in progress. Right now we do have the traded cards working pretty well, but we're going to fix it up and it's gradually going to get better over time.
Yeah, no, the vault is definitely one of the highlights of the website. And I know that you're very passionate about this part, Hector. The fact that you can go to somebody's profile and see what they have in their collection. Other people have done things where you download an app and you just monitor your collection, or maybe they have an Excel file or something. That's fine. But the fact that there's that community and you can look between each other's profile and see what they have, I can't think of another place that's done something similar. I think this is really a I don't want to overuse the word, but it's definitely a revolutionary way to look at the vault. It's almost going to someone and them opening up their binder and you looking through their cards. It's the same, it's just online.
It's definitely a work in progress, but I think it has good potential. I want to also separate us more from other people that do it. So other
Mhm.
people do
Yeah,
similar things, but I want to separate us more so people understand that this is different from just looking up card prices, because
yeah,
it adds to it when you can actually talk about what you have in a collection. You could do comparisons, and there's a lot of things you could do with that data, and that's what we intend on doing to actually help this site grow. That's a section that I really like, and I hope that it gets better over time. I know it'll get better over time. Just how much more could we go? That's up to you guys. The more people that are on the site, the more people that support us, the more we can actually make that grow. And I think that's my goal, is to definitely work on that vault to make it a lot better.
definitely. And the more that people are interacting and even tell us what you want, maybe Japanese games, maybe Japanese trading cards, maybe something else, the more the vault grows, the more people want to talk about it. They can put it on their show and tell. It's just every part of the website interacts with each other, which is what is really cool. It all ties together. And that's just something I love about it.
One of the last things on the website itself, a blog section. So if you definitely want to read articles or different blogs, you're more than welcome to on the site. I think that's something that we're going to do. A lot of different topics, maybe something that we talk about in the podcast. We may expand it even more within the blog. So it's definitely something you could go to. And if you are a member of the site already, you could go ahead and you can actually comment on the bottom of the blog. It's right there for you. You guys go ahead and read. And if you're a type of person that just likes to expand on a topic, then the blog's a good section to do that in. So you could go ahead, read it, and then comment on the bottom. You're good to go. All the podcasts, every episode will be on the website as well. We'll have another section for any video that we create for YouTube, as well as any live streams. So all that will be on there in the media section. So that's something you can go check out on the website. The last part of the website is the dashboard. As soon as you log into the website, you're going to be brought into your dashboard. And inside the dashboard, it's just a preview of everything on the site. It's a good place to start out with. And that's why we push you there to begin with, is because if there's any special announcements or anything, it'll be posted on that site. So we have any contests going on to win prizes, we'll let you know right there. So that's a good spot to go look at information like that. It also lists what's new. So if there's the latest episode of podcast you didn't know that was listed, it's going to be listed on there. So you'll be able to go ahead and listen to the next podcast episode. You'll also be able to see the latest blogs. You get like a preview of everything on the site to see what's new at that moment. So whether it's show and tell, whether it's groups, forums, like you'll see a small preview on the bottom. It shows like the latest post for each. The dashboard is a good spot that just has everything. It's like your table of contents for the whole website. It's right there.
Yeah, perfect. I love the dashboard. It's like you said, it's a little snippet of each part of the site on one page. So you can quickly glance at it, see what's going on new. Oh, there's a new blog. You can go right to the blog section. Or, oh, my friend posted in the forums. I can go there. It's everything nicely packed in one page.
By the way, some of these pages will improve. We will make changes. Feel free to let us know different recommendations. Like I said, this website was started by us, but I think it's going to continue with you. You are going to help us build this website. I think there's a lot of things that is dependent on users. When you post questions in forums, when you go ahead and create more chat discussions in groups, you guys are the ones that are building this website. So therefore, anything that happens in the future, we're going to be dependent on you to let us know what else do you want? What other sections should we add?
Me and Hector are collectors, and this website is pretty much based off what we want. So we're totally open to feedback. If you want us to add things, maybe you think something's good here or you want us to change something up, let us know. We're totally open to feedback. Like I said, this is for collectors by collectors, and we want to make this the best website possible for collectors.
Couldn't have said it better. That was really good. So, final thing I want to talk about in this episode, though, which I think is something that's important. So, you guys learn a little bit more about us and what we collect. I guess I'll start out. I will let you know that I recently started collecting trading card games. I used to play TCG years ago. I was like the OG. I started playing when Magic just came out. Literally, I was told, hey, Magic's gonna come out. People let me know, and I actually bought like a deck to play my first time. I was playing Magic back then. And then later on, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And those are the two card games that I stuck with for years. And then I stopped. I went on hiatus for a while. And recently, Rich is the one that pretty much convinced me to start to collect trading card games. And I seriously think that I have been in debt because of Rich. I swear, if I did not collect TCG at all in the last couple years, I think that I would be thousands of dollars, maybe not that much, but I honestly think that I put a lot of money into it. And the problem with me is that I'm a type of person that likes to collect things, and I like the art itself, but I love sealed product. And I have a thing that like most of my collection, I would say 95% of the things that I collected for TCG in the last couple years are sealed. I don't open too much stuff. I just like to display it, things like that. So I have who knows what I have in here. It could be anything. It could be like legit
Yeah.
anything inside there that may be rare, may not be rare. For the most part, TCG is newer. My collection really is about video game collection because that's something I've been collecting for years, over a decade of collecting for video game. So I've been in it for a while for collecting for video games. And I still have video games from when I was younger, like actual personal video games. I have multiple consoles. I pretty much love the NES days and Super Nintendo days. Like to me, those are the two consoles that I like. If you look at it, which is the best game ever, my favorite one would be Link to the Past, or it could be Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation. But anyway, the point is, video games is what I love to collect the most. But now I pretty much took on TCG and started collecting both. So, what about you, Rich? What do you collect, and what will be, I guess, the largest part of your collection?
Oh, I'd probably say the video games. So I started collecting like you 10 plus years ago. I can't even remember how long it's been now. I just would go to GameStop and pick up a game here and there. And then at some point I wasn't really content with GameStop because I think they just stopped selling Super Nintendo games. So I'm like, I need to get some Super Nintendo games. So that's when I went on to eBay and then started going to garage sales and other platforms. And then before I know it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a collector. That's it just happened overnight. So yes, mainly Super Nintendo, like you said. I know you like Link to the Past. I think I'm a Donkey Kong Country kind of person. That was my first game ever. When I was a kid, I got the Super Nintendo bundle, the one that comes with the console and the game.
Oh yeah.
I got it back at Toys R Us where they put the nice little sticker on the back. So there was that, and then trading cards. Because I remember the big boom in the 90s of Pokemon. I'm sure you remember it as well.
No,
Every
I think I've never heard of Pokemon.
it was a pretty big deal, and everybody had trading cards back then. I remember when we were kids, we would sit at our desk. We'd each have our trading cards in our desks at school. And as I got older, I'm like, man, I really wanted this card. I really wanted this card. So I started picking them up, and before you know it, I'm now collecting Pokemon cards too. So I'd say the majority of my collection is video games because I have been doing it for so long. But I'm all in for trading cards and video games. They just bring back those joys as a kid, and I'm sure you have so many stories as well as me of being kids, and that's why we collect. You mentioned Link to the Past, right?
Oh yeah, dude, so many stories. I literally there's the thing, my first time playing Link to the Past, I made like a tradition like every single Christmas, I
Oh
would
yeah.
play Link to the Past and just finish it. So from start to finish, just go ahead and play it and just finish it.
I've heard people who like go back every year and play a game like over. I've heard people doing that with like Chrono Trigger and now Link to the Past. But yeah, I think I've gone back and beaten Donkey Kong Country 1 maybe 20, 30 times by now. Like separate runs, not like one after the other, like literally spaced out over time.
Yeah, I think that's what if you have been stuck playing just new games for a long time, I think it's good for anyone to go back and just grab a game that's older and something that they remember when they're a kid that they actually enjoyed. And just for that brief second, appreciate and just it'll put a smile on your face. Even if it's only for a short amount of time, and maybe you'll start to be like, oh, the graphics aren't as good as I remember. Maybe it might go to that point, but for that brief moment in time, you'll get that smile because you'll remember the time that you liked that game. You'll remember the time when you first
Oh
played
yeah.
that game. And I think that's something that adds to the collection. It's the fact that I could turn around right now because I have all my video games displayed behind me. So not all of them, but a good portion of them is behind me. And I could just pick out the game, pick out the console and play it. And I think that's the biggest thing for me about collecting is that I don't want to lose that. I know that everything's moving on and everything's changing right now, the way people play video games. And that's something I did not want to lose. And that's why collecting video games were so important to me at that time, and it still is. I still collect, not as much as I used to. A lot of things has changed in the last couple years.
I know for a lot of us, like you said, like these games, I'll look at Super Smash Brothers Melee, and yes, it's a fantastic game, one of the best fighting games of all time, yada. But to me, I look at that game and I see the memories of playing at my buddy's house, the crazy times where I would hit him with a Falcon Punch and he was down a stock. They are collectibles, but they're also memories. And like you said, the new games, they're great, they're fantastic, but just pop in those old games and play through it and listen to that music. The music will just bring you back instantly, and the graphics, and just it was just a simpler time back then. I think that's what a lot of people are chasing. I know I'm a big proponent of a lot of what people collect stems from nostalgia. Like we were just talking, like you collect the video games, I collect the video games, and then the Pokemon cards. Just give a game that you used to play, give it another whirl, and you might find something about it that you didn't even know, which is another bonus.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, I feel like we could go on so much longer in this first episode, but unfortunately, we definitely are going to have to cut this, bring it to end right now.
All
Unfortunately,
right.
I just want to let everyone know, thank you for listening to our first podcast episode. And if you have some time, definitely go out to collectahobby.com and check out the website. Right now, if you go to certain pages, you'll see that there is a mail-in list. So go sign up to that mail-in list. This way you'll know exactly when we do launch officially. And also, if you want to know more about what we collect, or if you want to talk about what you collect, as soon as the site goes live and as soon as you sign up for that free membership, go ahead into the forums and start your own conversation. I think that's the thing that we should do from now on, that anything that we talk about in the podcast episode, if you have anything that you want to add, or if you have any questions for us, go into the forum, start your own discussion, and we'll be right there to see what you guys have to say. All right, guys, see you next time.
Later.
You've been listening to the Collect a Hobby podcast. Hector and Rich have been collecting video games as well as trading card games for years, and they're up to date on everything that has to do with the hobby. For everything you could imagine and need, hit the website at collectahobby.com. You'll find the blog, show and tell, the vault, the forums, and so much more. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll see you next time on the Collect a Hobby podcast.